Well, a very good morning to you. Thanks so much for watching the Weather Network just after 5:30 a.m. this morning. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and we'll take you through your traffic report right now. Things are looking pretty smooth out there. We're in the green zone as you check out our Beat the Traffic system. That has now been reopened, and I'll update you shortly on those conditions. But first, here's Emily. Good morning. Thanks, Emily. The drive is looking great this morning. As we check out our Beat the Traffic map, everything is perfect into play. We are seeing things are moving nice and smooth. Now, Emily, I know the risk of some thunderstorms. That comes into play this afternoon. Well, Emily, I have to say, do not take the QEW eastbound headed into Toronto. Over that Skyway, we are seeing a pretty big crash right now. Earlier, they had all lanes closed. Now a few lanes getting by you, but watching, do not take that route. That looks awful this morning. Thanks, Emily. This area right here, this is what you want to avoid. This is the QEW heading Toronto bound just on the Burlington Skyway. We got a big crash in the left lane, so we are looking at huge delays this morning. This morning, also Emergency Preparedness Week. Check it out. Thanks, Emily. The QEW looking a little bit better. Earlier, we had that big crash on the Skyway heading Toronto bound. That has now cleared. We have more traffic and weather coming up, as well as Emergency Preparedness Week stories. Stay with us. Thanks, Emily. The drive so far looking pretty good right across the GTA. You can see here we're still in the green zone for most of the routes. Volume really starting to build out on the 401 eastbound as you're traveling through Mississauga. And coming up, I'll show you some pictures of the Gardiner. All right, Kevin, thanks for that. Right now, we'll take a look at the Gardiner, where traffic is moving pretty well. We're not seeing any big delays. All right, Kevin, thanks for that. We'll get you into your drive now. We are looking at a few delays, just hearing them chat on the scanners. Also looking at some delays. We'll have a look at the DVP coming up next, but first, the thunderstorms this afternoon. Thanks, Emily. We are looking at a much busier drive now that all the volume's starting to fill in. We have delays right now eastbound on the 401 as you're getting through Mississauga. I want you to stay with us here through the Weather Network because it's Emergency Preparedness Week. We have more stories Well, we are looking at problems northbound Bronte onto the QEW westbound. So that ramp right now is partially blocked. We also have a lot of volume right across the city, and I'll have more details just ahead. All right, Kevin, thanks so much for that. We'll look forward to your updates. And this update, well, we're talking about delays. Out in the east end, Meadowvale all the way to McCowan, we're looking at a very slow drive. Now, the drive this morning, Emily, it's dry. This afternoon could be a little different. All right, Kevin, thanks for that. Avoid the QEW. That's my advice right now, especially traveling westbound. We are dealing with 2 crashes. Have a look at this. The same thing goes on the Gardiner eastbound. All right, Emily, thunderstorms this afternoon. What's in the forecast? Thanks, Emily. We are looking at a terrible drive on the QEW. This crash here is in the westbound lanes just before Cawthra, so we're looking at a big slowdown. I'll have more details just ahead. Thanks, Emily. We are looking at a very slow drive as you head through Mississauga on the QEW. Earlier, we were dealing with westbound crash just before here, Ontario, and one just after Cawthra. Stay with us here at the Weather Network. It's Emergency Preparedness Week, and we're featuring stories. Well, just hearing of some new problems on the eastbound 401 at Kiel, a stalled truck in the collectors. I don't spot it on camera, but I will look into that coming up. And also the delays on the 404 southbound, very slow, Stouffville down to Major Mac, and then big delays onto the DVP. Well, they're warming up as well. Yeah, it is very busy out there. The red zone coming into play for a lot of highways. All of the crashes that we were dealing with have cleared, so we are looking at some pretty heavy delays. All right, Emily, some active weather into the afternoon, the possibility of thunderstorms.
Yes, you know it's spring transitioning to summer when we do have a line of thunderstorms along a cold front moving through the United States.